Welcome to Care Knits Socks. My name is Care, and this is my YouTube channel where I chat about my knitting and crocheting, and usually also about the books that I've been reading. Today is October 16th or 17th. I think 17th. I don't know what date it is. It's 2 p.m. and it's been a long time since I've been here. Life's just been crazy. We'll maybe talk about that later. But I'm here today. So I have lots to chat about. I did write down some notes this time. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Care Knits Socks. My Ravelry is usually very much up to date with all the projects that I've been working on. So I guess we will start with finished objects. First finished object I don't have here with me because it's been gifted. It's my sunshine blanket that I made for my friend's baby. I gifted it to her at the beginning of September. And her baby was born a couple of weeks ago, and it's just gorgeous. I will show you a picture right here. So that was a struggle to finish. I finished all the squares. I had 49 squares and minimal ends to weave in, so that was fine. But then the border, I thought I would make the border that Not a Crawl Crochet made on her Huga Burst blanket. I don't remember the name. It's like a kind of like a pom-pom border. So I first did like a couple of granny rows just in the cream color around, and then I started the pom-pom border, but I didn't like how it was looking, so I just did a third row with like the brown cinnabar color that I had, and I think it looks really cute. For the assembly, I did a flat slip stitch seam, I think it's called. I watched a bunch of tutorials. It was really easy, and I like the look, and I like that it's, when it's on the wrong side, it doesn't look like the wrong side. It looks different, but it's not, it doesn't look like sewn, you know, so I think it looks good. Anyway, so that's my first finished object. And then, oh, my second one I forgot to bring. One moment. Second finished object was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I was in Michael's just browsing around, and all the yarn was 30% off. And they had Karen anniversary cakes, like these giant cakes, and I had seen them a few years ago, but I never bought one. And then these colors just really spoke to me. They are my favorite colors, and the colorway was called Book Club, so it was meant to be. I had to get it. So I made just like a rectangle granny square blanket with, this is an entire ball of the anniversary cake. So I just love all of these colors. They're just my colors. And this is full of dog hair because my dog loves it. So this just lives on our couch now. And I didn't follow a pattern really. I looked, sorry, I have dog hair in my face. I didn't want it to be square. So I just looked at a tutorial on how to make like a granny rectangle. So that's how I just started. And it turned out like it's not a full throw size, but it's bigger than a lap gan. So anyway, love that. So that was my second finished object. I don't have any dates for any of the things that I'm talking about. They're all on my Ravelry, usually if I remember to put a start date. Anyway, so that's that. My next, I have a lot of finished objects. It's been a while since I've been here, like 2 months. since I've been on here. My third one is something else I forgot that I'm not going upstairs to get. I call them my Perth socks. I had shown you them when they were a whip. They're like bright pink. Obviously, I'll put a picture here. And finished those. I had posted on my Instagram grid, I will finish these today, and I did finish them that day. I think it was like August 30th or 31st or something. But I did finish those. I started those in like April, so it took a while. I definitely had second sock syndrome on those. And then my best friend made my baby some little booties. They're sitting right there, but I can't reach them. With Karen Blossom cakes. And I keep seeing that yarn, and I didn't know what I wanted to make with it. So I never bought it. But then I was like, oh, I should make my niece some slippers because her birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. And I think she would really like them. So again, I went to Michael's, and again, it was 30% off. So I bought a cake. Is it still in here? Oh, where did I put those? Oh. Oh, please. And this is in the color Blossom. So I made her some little booty slippers. I actually held it double, so the inside and the outside strand at the same time. And I used a 6mm crochet hook. And the pattern that I used, I've had it's for such a long time and I never made it. But it's for like boots that have like a fold over and they're like much taller than this. I'll put the name here, but basically I just modified it so that I stopped after I thought it was tall enough to roll over, and then I stitched here so that they stay folded down the brim. And on the advice of my BFF, I held them double so that they would like stand up, as opposed to just one strand. They'd be like more floppy. So anyway, I made the toddler size 5'6", so I think it's gonna be perfect for her birthday. And we actually have another family member whose birthday is like a couple of days apart from my niece on the same year. And so I think I'm gonna make her some of these too, because I still have yarn left over, even though I can't find my yarn cake right now. I don't know where I put it. It's somewhere around here. And then I made, so when I went to buy that blossom cake, I bought, it looks like a big mess right now. This is the Loops and Threads Luxe Merino. So it's a merino wool acrylic blend, I think. And this is sand tweed color. And I bought just one ball. I wanted to make something for my mom out of this. And her birthday is also, it's actually on Halloween. And so my mom loves to wear hats in the winter, and I haven't made her one in a long time, if ever. So I decided to knit her this. I was looking at like knit DK weight knitted hats, and I didn't want to make a whole muscle burrow because I know I wouldn't have finished it. It's too long for me, for my attention span. So I found this free pattern that's just a double brim pattern. And so I made that. It was so much faster than I thought it would be. So I finished that like within a couple of days, like earlier this week. No, I made this last week. So I think it's gonna be gorgeous on her. She has much warmer skin tone than I do. So yeah, it's like right up her alley. So I hope she likes it, and it's gonna be warm because it's merino wool. And I added a pom, and my little initial tag thing. So that's the hat that I made her. It's actually it's DK, but the pattern uses 5mm needles, and it worked up so much faster than I thought it would. And this is my first time making a double brim hat, and now I want to make them for everyone. And I actually have a bunch of this yarn that I had bought to make myself a granny square cardigan that I never made, because we know that I don't have the patience to make a bunch of granny squares. So I think I'm gonna make my baby one of these. The thing is, like, the pattern obviously only comes for one size, so I would have to modify it to make it smaller, which is not my forte. I am not good at guessing the amount of stitches to cast on for hats. They usually always end up too big or too small. We'll figure it out. I'll try to figure it out. I was also thinking, I do have the muscle burrow pattern, so I can measure my stitches per inch for the gauge and then use those numbers. So I might do that actually. Anyway, so that's another finished object. Which brings us into I forgot another finished object that I made, which was super fast. Out of the same blossom yarn, I made my niece a little ear warmer that I gave to her this past weekend when I saw her. I didn't want to wait because it's getting cold out and it's ear warmer season. So yeah, I've been making all the things. So for my mom, I made this hat, and I was watching Stitches Be Slippin' podcast here on YouTube, and she showed her most worn knits, and one of them was Moonstone Mittens. That's the name of the pattern. And I thought, those look so gorgeous. I want to try to make those. I used to make a lot of knit mittens, like the basic, I think it's by Karen, the pattern on Heartspirations, and you knit it flat and then you seam the side. But these are knit in the round, which makes it so much better. And they have a super gorgeous trellis pattern that looks so complicated, but it's actually so easy to do. So I've made one of them so far. It's so beautiful. And on the other side, obviously on the inside is just plain, but this is just, I love it. So I made one, and then the other has just been started yesterday. These were so quick to knit up too, so I'm not worried that I'm gonna finish them on time for Halloween. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a beautiful set. I hope she loves it. Anyway, my next whip. Let's see. I also started a blanket for my niece. I just want to make her all the things. I love pinks and purples and girly colors, and my baby is not a girl, so she's like my muse for all of those girly things. So I started her a crochet blanket. I had made her a couple before she was born, but they're all really small, and now she's growing up. She's a toddler now, so I wanted to make her a toddler size blanket. And I think I made this a little too wide because I don't know how it's going to be. I only have 3 balls of this yarn, but I think it's going to be fine. It's Bernat blanket yarn in petal colorway. And I'm doing the lemon peel stitch. So I'm not using a pattern. I just chained however many I wanted. And it's, you single crochet in one stitch, double crochet in the next, and you alternate all the way. And then when you come back, you single crochet in the tops of the double crochets, and you double crochet in the tops of the single crochets. So lemon peel stitch. So I don't know if, well, I'm hoping I'm gonna finish this for her birthday, but I haven't touched this in weeks. So I've been making all the other things. My next whip are my cousin's socks. So these are I'm just making vanilla socks, but I'm using the graffiti sock set by Polka Dot Creek that she picked out. So this is the first sock. So it comes with 2 minis, this like charcoal and neon pink. And then it has all these fun little speckles in there. So she likes a short leg. So I did 40 stitches for the leg. I cast on 64 stitches, did 40 rounds for the leg, heel flap, heel turn, and I'm doing 70 stitches for her foot length. I think that's going to be good. And this little progress keeper is a little cat, and she has a cat that looks exactly like this, a little calico. So that's why I picked this one for her socks. So that's the first sock. Second sock, I got some progress made, I think. So I've, 20 something rounds on the leg. So I'm halfway through the leg. And so I'm alternating. So the first sock, the first sock I did the pink cuff with the gray heel, and this one I'm gonna make the gray cuff with the pink heel. And I should have done the toe also with the mini, but for some reason I was worried I wouldn't have enough yarn. I don't know why. So anyway, it's just the heels and the cuffs. But I think that'll be fun, and I think she's gonna love them. So those are those. And then I think that's my last whip. Oh gosh, I feel like I just dropped something that wasn't supposed to be dropped. Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah, it was my needle stopper. This is the anchor sweater that I'm making for my baby. And so I'm almost to the bottom ribbing, like very, very close. It has to be 12 inches from the cast on edge to before the bottom ribbing. So it's so cute. And I'm really glad I frogged and remade this, because this is gonna fit him this winter. I'm making the 1 to 2 year size. So yeah, that's my other whip. I've just been doing a couple of rounds here and there because it's kind of boring. Forgot another finished object. My show notes were done a few days ago when I hadn't finished a bunch of things. I made a stuffed, not animal, but it's a ghost. And she's crocheting a little blanket, and she has a little headband. My sister-in-law, she loves those kinds of things, and one thing about me is I hate making stuffed things. I've made a minion, Kevin the Minion, for my mother-in-law asked me to make it for one of the kids she babysits, and then last year she asked me to make gnomes, and I made 5 of them, and I wanted to so I swore to myself I would never make stuffies again. And then my sister-in-law was like, look how cute she is, and I was like, she's freaking cute. And I already had the yarn. I used white Bernat blanket yarn, and I already had like the orange. So I was like, okay, let me make that for her. Like, that looks really easy. Minimal sewing. So she named her Gulia, like ghoul, Gulia. And here's a picture. She's really cute. The pattern I don't remember the name. I will put it here and I will put the link down below. I paid for the pattern. It was like $5. But it made her so happy. So that's how much I love her. But yeah, I think that's everything that I've been doing. Was that not enough? If you see or if you remember other projects that I've shown you before that I'm not showing you now, it's just because I haven't touched them. Because as I say in every episode, I'm the lady of 1,000 whips and I cast on a lot of things and I don't finish a lot of things. So that's the situation on that. I did not buy any yarn since I last saw you. I received my friend's sock club. So I should have brought them, I guess, September and October. But I haven't bought any other yarn besides that. So yay me, I lied. I did buy the Blossom yarn and I did buy the tweed merino, but that was like less than $20 at Michael's because they were 30% off. And yeah, so okay, I didn't buy any yarn. So books that I've been reading, I read 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown, who is the actress that plays Eleven in Stranger Things. Stranger Things, I only watched the first season many years ago, but this book seemed to be like right up my alley. Historical fiction, World War II love story type of thing. And it was so good. It was her debut novel. I really enjoyed it. I told my mother-in-law to read it. She loved it. And it's not like a typical, like, oh, I met a soldier and we're in love and then he goes away and he dies. Like, it's not that at all. I really liked it. I really did. 4 out of 5 for sure. Then I read What Have You Done by Sherry Lapina. I read all her books every year. Like, she releases a book and I usually read them all. I don't even remember what this one is about. I gave it 3 out of 5. Don't remember. I cannot recall. After that, I read The Orphanage by the Lake, which I got for free with my Kindle on Kindle Unlimited. And this was really good. This was really a mystery that I haven't read a lot of mysteries lately, I feel like. And so it was about this private investigator lady that, you know, people don't take seriously because she's a woman, she's Asian. Her parents think her career is a joke. And she gets commissioned by this woman to find out what happened to her goddaughter that was in this boarding school, and she disappeared. And so she only has like 2 weeks to find her or something, and she's been missing for months and months. And so it's like this really creepy, it's not like a boarding school slash like children's home. And you know, people are like reluctant to talk to her. No, I haven't seen anything. Like it was very much like a whodunit. No, not it. It's not a whodunit. But it was like a atmospheric kind of creepy vibes, and you honestly, I had no idea like what the outcome was going to be. Like, it wasn't a big twist, but it wasn't my first guess of, you know, where had she gone, where had she disappeared to. So I really like that. So I gave that 4 out of 5 stars also. And then I read Old Country. I think it's last name is Query. I want to say Matthew and Harrison Query or something like that. Oh my gosh, I loved that book. I could not wait to go to bed at night to read. And I specifically wanted to read it at night because it was so scary. I I love scary movies. I don't read a lot of scary books, and I feel like a lot of books that claim to be scary aren't, or they're just gory. Um, and this was just the creepiest, scariest thing I've read, maybe ever. Um, it's about this couple who wants to, they don't want to live in the city anymore. They want to, like, a small piece of land. So they buy this house, this little ranch in Idaho. And as soon as they move in, the neighbors come over and they're like, we have to warn you about the spirit that's on this land. And there's things that you have to do. Like, every season the spirit will manifest itself in a different way, and this is what you have to do to, like, keep it at bay, because if you don't, then we don't know what's going to happen. But we know that the last people that lived there, they left suddenly and they all died. So every season there's a different manifestation, and it just gets creepier and creepier. It was so good. And I was reading, and, like, I couldn't put it down. And like I said, I read it in the dark. And so at one point, I was maybe halfway through, and I had to pee. And I was too scared to get out of bed. Oh, it was so good. Anyways, 10 out of 10 recommend. I don't think I rated it 5 stars, but it's like for me, it was a solid, like, 4.5. Yeah, and I was reading it at the perfect time of year too, because it's almost Halloween, it's fall. So anyway, and then my current read is, I actually have a physical copy, is The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Roble. And this is her 3rd book. I've read the other 2 she's written. Excuse me. Darling Rose Gold and This Might Hurt. Darling Rose Gold, I gave 3 stars. This Might Hurt, I gave 2 or 3. It wasn't that good. I do remember what both of them were about. And this is completely different. And this is so much better so far. This, my bookmark, I'm at page 234 out of 340-ish pages. And I'm just like, boop, 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 reading. It's about this group of friends. They were friends in college. It's been like 10 years. They receive an invitation from, like, the weirdo of the group. He has opened a hotel that's, like, the theme of the hotel is Alfred Hitchcock. The guy is, like, obsessed with all of his films, and he has a bunch of memorabilia and, like, props that were used in the movies in his hotel. And yeah, so he invites, like, his 6 friends over for a weekend to reconnect or whatever. And, like, obviously every character is super different. And there's all this tension and this backstory that you don't know, like, things that happened between them in the past that, some of it resurfaces at different points, and I'm sure there will be more in the pages to come. Yeah, then somebody dies, and it's like a real life murder mystery. And it's really good. This is a whodunit. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's like a 4-star, depending on the ending. We'll see how it goes. But I feel like it's another good book to be reading at this time of year. Like, it's creepy, and it's like a kind of suspense, I guess, mysterious, So I've been enjoying that. So that's that. Thank you so much if you made it all the way here. I appreciate you watching, and if you liked it, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.